one thing and one thing only, and that's, of course, commentate some Super Smash Bros. Ultimate 2. And it's been long overdue. Been commentating this series for almost a decade. We're finally getting a chance to work together. So excited to go into this match as well, too. Here we are, my friends. It is, speaking of a blast from the past, we got a P115 King. That's right. The Little Mac extraordinaire. Going to face up against Siski. This is going to be a great match.
For sure. Shout outs to the name, by the way. It's just 551.
551.
I mean, we're shorting it down to 551 or 551. And yes, it's Mac against Samus. And Siski, notoriously one of, if not the best Samus in the world, consistently making waves in every tournament he attends. And of course, one of the European invaders, which there are plenty of today.
Oh, yes.
But he is also here with his friend Andres FN, who has already made it to top 32. And now Siski's trying to do just the same, but he needs to get through the KO first. And 551 is going to get the first stock of the match.
My goodness, what a way to open up a block right here, man. KO punch right there just to set the tone, just to set the precedent. Let him know, look, you ain't going to, oh my goodness, you ain't going to have no fun for free around here. Now, of course, Little Mac blessed with some of the best ground options, and arguably maybe the best grounded options in the game, depending on who you ask. Of course, frame one jab, we've all talked and heard about that, but it's those tilts, that up close and personal game, that ability to pop you off your feet at those lower percents that are really going to make Samus' life a little difficult up close and personal. But then again, Toon, all that to say, what is Samus doing fighting up close and personal? That's not really her shtick anyway.
Siski is a master of keeping you at bay, of course. That charge shot of his is not only a combo tool, but it's also stock finisher at times, and of course, an extension of what you can get. Now, one thing that 551 is going to do fantastically, and he already did, is using the smash attacks to get almost kill screens, right? Like when Mac connects those smash attacks, it goes into a different animation. So that's a call out for Siski being so up close. And Siski is now trying to camp the platforms as he should.
That's right, man. These platforms aren't really as much as your friend as you were probably initially led to believe in most cases. And of course, right now, a bit of a mini game. Am I going to go, oh my goodness, looking for the ledge trump with the Jolt Haymaker. A little off the mark, but KO punch back online right now. No punch needed. Taking that Wario approach. Yes, he was the first one with the comeback mechanic in the game. And of course, he's going to save it to get the KO off to the side right there. Great stuff right here. I'm loving the aerial approach right here from Siski a bit more. Of course, forward air frame 6 on that first hit. And then, of course, Nair -5 up close and personal. So two pretty good options in their toolkit, but we're going to see a lot more of that when Little Mac is off stage.
Especially because 551, at least in game 1, I think he is going to be the dominant force here. Of course, Siski finding the ways to put him in the air, but in the meantime, he kind of had to learn on the go how to play it a bit more aerial. Like you said, Siski great at keeping you at bay, keeping you apart, but now he's starting to whip grabs and everything. He is not always in that position where he can grab 551 because he needs to play the air game, and 551 can just catch him, but there you go, the up smashing connecting every hit for once.
That's right, and that's this time, you know, playing a little bit more aggressively, getting up close and personal on Little Mac, and of course, in the corner. Little Mac has no business in that position, whether their back is against the ledge or they are facing it. Samus is always a very dangerous time. If Mac is facing the ledge trying to edge trap, you know, Samus, you just always have that thing in the back of your head like, man, am I going to get grabbed? Okay, I got some very strong ground options. Down tilt, jab. Samus don't want no problems with that up close and personal. Her quickest move out of shield, up B. But the fact remains the same. That space gets threatened, ZSS is going to either go for forward air very quickly or just go for a grab, throw Mac off stage. He's in some trouble.
One of the new elements of the game plan for Siski also has been up tilt for whatever reason. And you would say, yeah, for whatever reason, but the range it covers right in front. He's trying to catch 551 on the move. He also got a stock with it, so there are some new elements added to this game plan, specifically against Mac. You don't usually see the up tilt come through from Samus's. Maybe F tilt is a little bit more common, but still, it's been working out for Siski so far. And again, he learned on the go to play the air game. I think he now succeeded. He was definitely looking a little lost at the very beginning, but as time goes on, Mac will get downloaded. So far, so good for this Tenured, though. He doesn't get to play this matchup too often. That's
right. I feel like Mac is just such a cut and dry character, just given the sheer nature of Smash. Like, off stage, recovering is the name of this game. This is what sets us apart from all the other fighting games out there, is that you have to recover. And Little Mac is going to struggle to do that. He's a very cut and dry character defensively and also offensively as well, too. It's kind of hard to mix up the flow. He had, due to the sheer nature of how quick his buttons are, he has some, like, surprising options up close. The tilt, as you can see right here, threatening that space in the middle of battlefield with up tilt. Down tilt up close and personal to bounce you off your feet, bait that air dodge in, boom, KO punch. But the fact remains the same. He's a little linear with his approach, and I'm not saying that Samus isn't either. She has a very cut and dry game plan. I just feel like when I kind of compare both game plans together, Samus's works just a little better than Little Mac's. Oh my goodness!
get dunked on, baby, and that's how Siski starts it out. What I love from Siski in this particular stock is how he started walling him out. Then when Mac decided to play platforms, up tilt was there to help Siski, and then the rest was history because at 5-5-1 never touched the ground again.
Yeah.
Now things get harder when the when the KO punch is in line, of course, but Siski has found a way to consistently put 5-5-1 outside and also forcing him to commit to play an air game that Mac is just not ready for. But here's the KO punch once again, no confirm. But Siski is off stage. What will 5-5-1 get? I don't think the go punch is here.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Samus jab frame 3 pretty quick, but you might want to get up out that corner, period, okay, homie? Okay, nice. Gonna go for the charge shot just to reset things. Obviously not enough to take at the stock. Back air, the aerials on Samus' toolkit will definitely get the job done right there. Of course, back air for a KO option. If you're off stage, preferably, we're probably gonna see Nair, but we'll definitely take it. Here's an up smash for your trouble. Oh, we eat those. Oh, we eat those. Delicious.
Granted, Siski just left 5-5-1 with 69% in the first exchange or in the first line sequence of moves. And of course, that charges the KO punch a lot. Not quite the punch yet, but 5-5-1 can't even land in the first place. Playing the top platform, he is now the owner, but he's going to eat the neutraler. Dude, Siski has gotten so good at just calling the mobility from 5-5-1. 5-5-1 usually disengaging. The neutraler covers so much area horizontally, but will there be a KO punch? We have only seen one so far in this entire set.
It feels like that's really been the biggest decision maker. Oh my goodness. And yes, not being able to recover off that ledge, of course, that's going to be your ultimate downfall, really on both parties' behalf, but definitely if you're playing Little Mac. But yeah, the KO punch, I feel like, has been such a big decision maker. It's such a key element, you know, in Little Mac's toolkit, and it also kind of adds a bit of pressure to the opponent. It's there. The matchup is going to change now. I either now have to disengage or I have to go for something that I know 110% is going to work and is going to get Mac off stage. And unfortunately enough right there for 5-5-1, a little late to the party when it comes to executing on that KO punch, but we'll see what this next game brings us.
And the one time he did get it, that was the one time he was also in the lead in this set. So as time goes on, he just keeps whipping time and time again. Also, Siski, one thing that he's been getting better at is not just playing the platform game, but now he's kind of recovering control of the ground too. He is not letting Mac play where he wants to. The grab is coming in clutch as well. And like I said, the charge shot is not only an option to take away stocks, it's also a combo starter. And at the very early percent, you saw that sequence, like Mac took 69% out of one charge shot.
One charge shot, man. I mean, that is kind of like that low percent stuff that Samus and Dark Samus bring to the table that a lot of people forget about, man. I'm glad you brought that up. Sometimes we get so caught up in like, oh man, she has to leave, she's disengaging, she's running away. Okay, that's what some characters in fighting games are going to do. But everybody forgets to talk about how you got to that percent. Samus can beat you down in some of those relatively early percents, and unfortunately it felt like 5-5-1 was, oh my goodness, a bit of a victim of that, but Little Mac neither here nor there at this point. We got Meta Knight. Wasn't expecting to see this, but hey, I'm glad it's here.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either. We actually have seen one Meta Knight in this tournament called Maza. He got to 9th place in doubles alongside his teammate Raymond, but in terms of singles, I don't think there has been that much action with this character. Meta Knight definitely one of the more obscure. It's still a counterpick character. I think he's playing a similar role that he did in Smash 4 as a counterpick character, but unfortunately the counterpick is going south right now.
It most certainly is, and I think it's just due to the nature of Siski just always having the right tool, especially some of those later percents where things on Samus' toolkit stop comboing and they start pushing you away. The minute you push your opponent away, that neutral's reset it, and there's a good chance you're going to control the space like what you see right here. Now, 5-5-1, if they can figure out a way to get in and break that zone, they'll be cooking with some real grease, man. Down tilt frame 3, definitely something for Samus to worry about. She's not blessed with the same frame data up close that 5-5-1 is, but it doesn't seem to matter at this point.
Also because 5-5-1, I'm not saying it's a muscle memory, but he kind of seems to be getting a little too up close. Siski has gone for a few up Bs out of shield too, so 5-5-1 the 2 or 3 times that he's gotten in, he barely gets 80%, he eats an up B, and also look at 60%. Like that 34% means that only a few moves have connected, and unfortunately for 5-5-1, he is not even in control of the outstage play with all those jumps that Meta Knight has. Oh, but wait a minute, he actually steals the jump. This might just be the stock against Siski.
Oh,
it probably will be.
Tornado right at the ledge right here, of course, stalling out just to see what the real option is going to be. No Zair that time. Throwing Meta Knight off, of course. 5-5-1 is very well aware of the tools that a lot of the Dreamland characters have against people who have tethers in this game. Any character that can spend a lot of time off stage, tether's kind of a thing of the past. There's down tilt though. Quick frame 3 option. Backing it off here, caught in this corner. Oh my goodness. Okay, bit of a, I don't want to say stock exchange right here, but definitely trading a lot of percent off the backboard to the bottom of the blast zone. Siski's going to close it out in a very convincing fashion, 3-0.
finishing with 1-1-1 in that percent, being the #1 in Spain, #1 in this set, and also #1 at getting to the next round, I believe. Oh no, not the first one actually. He does have somebody waiting for him. It's Radio Ovni. He's going to play against the K-Rule next, probably on the side stream. And also, I was telling you about the results that other players have gotten. We can give you an update. Mar, the Bayonetta who defeated Zomb at Smash Factor, is now in loser's bracket, defeated by ZK. Oddly enough, it's the same matchup. He played against a Robin. He could not quite do the same thing now.
Ah, man, that's going to be a tough one right here. And friends, here's the stats. Big shout out to the course of production. I can't stress it enough. I mean, me and Toon, our job, you know, it seems very difficult. Honestly, we've been doing this long. It's very easy. The real heroes here are production, the TO staff. I love that slide right there. Of course, if you're just tuning in, it was 3-0. Siski, of course, was not. I mean, it wasn't easy. I'll give him that. It wasn't a walk in the park. Of course, when you see the name 551, P55 King, whatever you want to call them, when you see them in bracket, you know you need to bring your Sunday's best, even if it ain't Sunday. And I think Siski did just that. Love that switch to Meta Knight. Would have loved to see what the adaptation would have been had they played that character first. Again, the ground game that Meta Knight has on Sam is very, very scary. I just felt like, man, I don't know. Every time, Samus does something hard hitting, especially at those later percents, that pushes Meta Knight away, and of course that resets to neutral. Now that's not to say, though, that dash attack can't help bring Meta Knight in. That's still one of the best dash attacks in the business, but this is Siski we're talking about. Yeah. This is the man.
One of the issues is that even if the dash attack did go in, the other times it didn't, it was going to face off against a charge shot and the grab, and that's where Siski shines. So it's the same combo starter to stop the approach from Meta Knight, and the rest is history. I mean, it couldn't extend quite as far, but Siski was winning neutral a lot more because he denied the entry from Meta Knight so many times, and the rest was history. Again, Lil Max seemed so good at first because it's a surprise factor. It's the KO punch with which 551 got the first stock. So, shaking things up a little bit for Siski, but then he got back to his regular game plan and just controlling the